Nope.
God, Emperor Trump will
hard
save us all. Next.
Hard pass.
That's the big bugaboo on the D-pad.
Yes.
Nothing. Everything else is fair
I
game.
luckily was like,
Controversial as shit.
transgender people. Really? And
Yeah.
you're like, that's fine. Let's talk about that.
Because you were asking
And
questions out of your curiosity.
This one is just going to be.
This
us.
is a constantly, endlessly
Oh, here we go. What we can
inflammatory
talk
subject.
about. We don't have to talk about specifically anybody in politics, but how people can't discuss politics anymore.
Okay, all right.
That's true. It's
That's a
become
topic.
so polarized
That
that
is a topic.
no one.
fucking Trump is
No,
I'm just
so
trying to
there was
I
a
love
really
making Rick
there was a
squirm.
really interesting graphic I saw that showed how senators, I think it was senators, it might have been the House of Representatives, I think it was the Senate, how Democrats and Republicans voted on their bills over the past like 60 years or something. And very, very suddenly, about 20, 30 years ago, you noticed that there was a lot less so what they would do is they would draw a line anytime two people in the House or the Senate voted along with each other. So whether you're Democrat, Republican, anything. So you notice that up until like the 70s-ish, there would be a lot of lines on both sides. It'd be a lot heavier, on each side of the thing. But,
But
it was
like, there's still a good amount of overlap.
yeah. But, don't fight it. Ugh. It won't hurt one little bit. Ew.
Rape man.
Hey,
we covered rape.
Roll!
Woo! Yeah. But yeah, so they start. All of a sudden, you'll notice that in the 70s into the 80s, there started to be a lot less crossover. Until now, there is nearly no cross between the left and right sides of the aisle. So I think part of it is we just became very politically polarized in the last 20 years.
No, I don't think that's it. I think people are largely less educated about the issues, and they just vote with their team so that they don't have to worry about it.
That's
Yeah.
all part of it.
Extreme loyalism.
Yeah, pick your
That's all part
color,
of it.
and you just always
Yeah.
vote your color without.
But I think that's out of convenience because people just say,
Yeah.
"Oh, my blue people will make the right choices," so I'm not going to look at
Right,
it anymore.
right.
So I'm just going to go, "Which answer is most blue?" Okay, you guys are.
I don't
okay,
think
great.
that's a
And they choose
new.
it.
I don't think that's a new thing in any
Isn't that what
way.
you just said though?
I said I think that there is a part of that in there, but I don't think that's the
But
primary
we're
cause
also
of
getting
it.
to the point where a Democrat and a Republican person can't even talk to each other because they're just all that they do is talk to their Democrat friends or talk to their Republican
that's not
friends.
totally true. I talked
And
to
they
my
just
dad over the
everyone
holidays,
agrees
and
with
Yeah,
them.
but that's also family. You have just you have to.
Yeah, but we also it wasn't an uncomfortable
Okay, but
conversation.
so how many other Republicans have you talked to other than your father?
Fair, all right, so the person
Was he able to reasonably and logically justify his beliefs to you?
yeah, and vice versa, he understood a lot of the stuff that I was talking about as well.
Okay, well
Including-
maybe that's just a
including-
rarity.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, maybe,
like-
maybe, and including both of us acknowledging some of the problems on the sides that we believe in, which is
Well, that actually sounds like how it's supposed to fucking
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
I would think
More
that it
people
is.
could be like that. I think we'd be a little bit better off.
That's probably true.
But
Yeah,
I mean, there have definitely been a few times where, somebody's mentioned how, what they think of, and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't talk politics. You're obviously." I mean, like, look at me. Do I look like a fucking Republican? Like, let's be real.
I
yes.
don't know. You look like a white male, so yeah.
Good
Oh.
one. Zing.
Wow.
But like, there have been plenty of times where I'm like, no, like I might disagree with most of what you're saying, but I would still rather understand it than.
And I'll be fair myself. Sometimes when people are talking about their stance on certain things, I just get so angry.
Hey, my thing. All right.
And I think-
like to the point where I can't even listen to you talk about the way that you think about things. Like,
And I think
Again, the
part
way
of
it
the
was maybe 15
issue
years ago when the differences were largely about like regulations and the economy and things like that. Now it seems like the differences are more about religion and what rights people should have. It's like we've degraded a lot, like
I
degenerated
mean,
a lot.
the subjects of conversation are always going to change generation to generation. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to talk about some of these things because in some of those cases we've not necessarily fixed them, but we've stabilized them to a point where everyone's more or less comfortable with them. Now there's other things that have, where the fuck are we
well,
now?
Shaking
fake
it up.
comfortable with them.
Well, yes. Like,
Town
there's...
1 sounds nice.
Yeah, right. I heard a black Navi kidnapped a girl
For the
Navi
record,
there.
he's purple,
Oh
but
my
so is the Purple
God.
Ranger, who is also black. So okay,
Is
I mean,
it
I guess.
true?
I guess.
What the fuck? Look, 2004 was a different time, guys. We're cracking out while
Yeah, I
chasing a
saw
black
that.
Navi.
Oh man.
Oh my
God.
god, I forgot we're cracking out.
Yeah.
Chappelle's game.
Oh god. But so,
Christ.
no, I think it's just the important discussion points and debatable topics of the time change with the times. Like, that's just how that works.
Well, also, I think it's just like it's important to. Ooh.
One thing that's
Sorry,
cool.
I got really distracted by him shooting things. I don't know why. I was just like, oh yeah.
I don't really have any family members that disagree with me.
Right, and that's the thing. Like, if you feel a certain way about something, you tend to surround yourself with people that feel the same way. So all you do is hear people who agree with
I was
you.
gonna
Stop
say,
you right there,
from the
but I
other-
avoid my family like the plague.
from
I'm
the
trying
other
to
side of
surround
things-
myself with them.
From the other
That
side
sounds
of
like
things,
a way to die.
nearly my entire family is Republican.
You don't get to pick your family, though. You know.
Well, no, but I mean,
You're also the
I don't know,
smartest one
I
in your
like-
family. So
I-
what does that
I
mean?
don't know about
Definitely
that,
like
but-
listening to other people's point of views, no
I
matter
think
how
you
much
know
I
you
disagree
are.
with them.
You won't say it because you're a nice guy, but
in-
you seem to be.
Just because I
From
think
what I
depends on the
believe.
that's
subject.
more
Like, my whole
interesting way
family
to
are
be.
also like mechanics, and I know fuck all about how to fix a car.
True, yeah.
Getting someone to explain their point is really
Perhaps
maybe
smarter
the key
was
to
the
it.
wrong
like,
word.
Please explain
Learned.
to me why you think that
Yeah,
there should
but I
be
mean, like, the key to
abortion
that
should
is-
be illegal. Like,
Because,
explain to me why you think
And the
that.
key to that is that you say you get so
And if
angry
the answer
that you
is
can't.
because God, that shouldn't be allowed in
and
our
that's what I
government.
start flipping out.
Right, because
But
it's
that's
a
when I
secular
sit there and
government on paper.
But that's the thing is you can't flip out about that. You have to sit there and ask them about it until you get around to your own personal viewpoint. But not in like an attacking sort of way. You
Well, I
need to
don't-
understand more of their position before
But in a
you
way,
can
that's
discuss your
negotiating
own.
with terrorists. Because the government is a secular government.
It is, but you're
so
not
stop
gonna.
using God as your defense
But
for
so
your
okay,
laws.
so you
No,
just
no,
said
no,
that
no,
to me,
no,
and
no.
I believe in God, and I believe that God should be part of that. Now I'm pissed at you, and I don't agree with
Yeah,
you, and I'm
here's-
not going to listen to anything you say. So good job.
Yeah,
But
the-
that's your fault for
No,
not
no,
understanding
no,
what
no,
a
no,
secular
no, no, no.
Oh my
government
God,
is.
that's the problem right there. What you're doing.
Yeah, people have personal viewpoints and beliefs.
I
They are
don't
allowed to
disagree.
believe in whatever they want.
I support religion. I think religion is largely beneficial to society, whether or not
Yes,
I
but
personally
an
subscribe to
instant
certain ones or
attack
not.
on something is not going to work as well as like calmly discussing why.
I'm not attacking. But what
You
does
were
the word
dismissing
secular?
immediately, though.
No,
Yes,
I'm not. What
you
does the
were.
word
You just
secular
did.
mean?
But see, this is what I'm saying. We understand that,
If we accept that we're in a secular system, you can't use religion as a defense.
but some people don't fully accept that, or they have like these weird ways of getting around that
But you
idea.
can't not accept
their
truth.
head.
Okay, but what if they
Except
say
that
they
these
do?
people
And yet people do, and it
disregard
works.
Yeah,
Right,
and
John.
but they're
vote.
objectively wrong because secular means separate from
All
religion.
right, tough. You're here, they're there. So now what?
And also, guess
But
what?
if
They're
you look
kind
at the
of winning.
dictionary,
They're
So what?
winning. You
That's
can
the thing.
stop it. That's the thing.
You
it
need to
can
have a
change.
discussion. You can't
That's
yell
why
at
discussion
someone
needs
that
to
they're
happen.
wrong.
this is why I abstain from politics because I find it.
That you
horrible.
need to be calm.
Yeah, you need to be
But-
able to.
But and I'm not, well, for the record, I'm not talking to people who are on the polar opposite of my viewpoints. I'm talking to you guys, my friends.
Well, yeah,
right?
about
And
that,
even with
though.
us, you're still flipping out.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
and
like
that's, like, the
fake
thing-
fun flipping out.
Yes,
But,
but,
but
honestly,
also,
I'm having fun.
Doesn't am
the
I
difference
incorrect
between
these? No,
in
you're
my
not.
understanding of the word
you are
secular?
not incorrect in your understanding
I'm
of the word
fine
secular.
if you have the opposite view of me if you can support it in a real way. But if your only support is God, that is no place in a secular government, period.
But
I
the,
would
the
agree,
issue
Thank
is
you.
they don't care.
Yeah.
yeah, but that doesn't make it okay.
John,
But they
You
Yeah.
can't
they
not
don't-
care that you're wrong when
John,
you're
stop,
objectively
stop.
wrong.
You're
John,
looking in one
here is
direction
the
and not
problem.
seeing anything else.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it something that
Yes.
doesn't belong in government?
We all,
Obviously.
all of us
but-
here think that you are right.
But
But guess what? Outside of this room, there's fuckloads of people who do
Yeah.
not. And unless we don't sit here and flip shit like what you're doing right now,
I would never
we
do it
are-
to anyone who wasn't my friend.
yeah, but you're doing.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Among other things, right now you're doing it in front of 2,000 people.
Who I'm going to assume are my friends.
We
I
have
a little optimism would go along.
I would like to point out that in my own personal experiences with talking with our own fans on Twitter, we have a very wide array
Yeah.
of people
And
with
so- and
very
I think,
diverse
like-
beliefs.
But here's the thing: I'm not anti-God.
that's got nothing to do with
Some
it,
of
though.
my favorite people are religious people
John,
who understand that
you're
it's
not
separate.
looking
Some of
at
my
the
favorite
problem.
people are
You're
deities.
so on one track, you're not actually seeing anything.
It has nothing to. Yeah.
Okay, explain to me how.
I've been trying to, but then you keep shouting.
Go ahead and explain.
So-
I'll shut up for the next 30 seconds. Explain your point quickly.
I don't speak that quickly, so you're gonna have to give me more time.
45. Go.
So anyway, what you're saying is just you're repeating the definition of secular. Great fucking job. You can read a dictionary. We're proud of you.
I can also read the Constitution.
You know what? So can everyone else. But you know what? That does not matter to a lot of people, or people disagree with it. They
Which-
think
The Constitution is in many ways a living. What's the term? A living document, breathing document. It
Breathing.
can be changed and
It
it can be amended.
changed. That
if it's
is
changed and amended to say that God is how we make our decisions,
That's not the thing,
fine.
though.
No,
That's
no, no.
not. That's you're skipping about 3 steps in
Okay,
how that
okay,
gets.
you're probably
if-
right. I'm probably being.
It's not
extreme.
that God.
Yes, you
it's
are.
not. The argument is not God is choosing how this is supposed to work. It is someone who someone who is in government and is very religious models their life in a way that they feel matches their belief system.
Right.
But sometimes that belief system is at odds with other people's belief systems or other
Yep.
people's personal feelings
Yes.
on things.
Yes.
At the end of the day, while yes, separation of church and state is a very critical and important thing, it does occasionally get ignored, and on top of that, it also doesn't inherently invalidate the point that's being made.
No, it does not. But if your only defense is God, I don't buy that. If
And
you
yet
can
again,
give
you
me a
run
number
directly
of
back.
practical reasons,
I
in
generally,
addition,
I
fine.
generally
What
agree.
if to other people God is practical, John?
That's fair. I think for
Like, just because you don't think that's the case
To
doesn't
some
mean
people,
that's not
Elvis
practical
is
to
still
other people.
alive.
And yeah. And that's yet again another weird extreme that you're going
But
to describe something that is literally a
If,
huge
if we
part
had
of
a
people's
vote
lives.
on
Let
whether
me-
or not
I can only
Elvis was alive or
rationalize the
not,
world.
then those people still get to vote
Whoa,
and say that
where
he's
the
alive.
fuck are we now?
So if you can't
You know
just,
what? That actually did more than anything
That's
either
what-
of them said to help
That's
me
what I'm
We've
trying
understand.
to
said
say.
that so many
These people
times.
still get to vote, and if you can't talk to them and explain without saying you're wrong because of
I think the thing that frustrates
You're
me
wrong
is that
because
if I
I'm
don't-
right, is what you're saying.
I
You
don't-
can't say that.
Hi guys, I just need to interrupt.
Oh yeah.
I knew you'd come.
Thank you.
all over the room.
Here's the thing, though. Okay, how do I word this in a way that's not going to get me exiled from
word
planet?
it in the way that you mean it.
I feel like that's a dangerous thing to tell John
Yeah,
to do.
but
It is the same as negotiating with terrorists.
no.
You've already
Hold on.
said that.
Hold on. Just because people who think that the way they think. Okay, so I understand everyone gets a vote. I'm trying. Oh, this is so tough. I'm walking on eggshells right now.
Can I
So what's
Go
new?
ahead. What
put
are you
out
gonna say?
so everyone's personal thoughts, feelings, beliefs come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Some of them get it from spiritual beliefs or religious texts. Other people get them from more scientific backgrounds, or they get them from just their own experience or empirical observations in life. I get my beliefs from different places than you get your beliefs. They're maybe very similar, but at the end of the day, we all have different experiences that lead us to certain places.
Which I
For some
support and
people,
encourage.
for some people, for folks who are more religious, there are some people who are there are some people who are religious by convenience, but there's a wealth of people who are religious because it is a meaningful part of them, not just a decision-making process, but it helps guide them in
I
difficult
understand
times.
and support that and have been there.
I would say that I generally agree with your point in that if someone's going to argue against abortion, for example, with the argument that abortion's bad because God said it's bad, that's not a great place to be. If they can back it up by saying, I don't think abortion's good because I feel like it's akin to murder, that's a different and certainly more respectable stance to take.
Sure.
It's true. Like, I might disagree with that. I do not think abortion's murder, but I think that's a much more valid argument than, just that. Like, if you say, like, because my God says this, no, I'd be like, okay, but not my God, so what now?
And
If
Ben
you
is
say
saying
murder,
that-
I say I disagree with
But
murder.
here's the thing that
Therefore, I will seriously consider that, even though I don't agree with it.
That's
I-
right.
it's
That's a
valid point.
discussion that can happen in productive politics. Fine. That's great. Ben's answer
Yeah.
was that these people who stop at the line that says, well, God said so, so that's how I'm voting, those people get just as much of a vote as anyone else.
Yes, but he said that to make
When they're
you
effectively
realize
playing
that
against the rules in our secular
Well-
government. Am I wrong in anything I just said? Please tell me.
No.
Here's all
So
right.
doesn't that seem frustrating?
Oh, it's
The-
definitely
It is
frustrating.
frustrating. That's not
but
what
you're
we're
never gonna
discussing.
be able to have a conversation
Yeah.
with these people by saying, "Don't think about God."
The essential point
Yeah.
of separation of church and state is to ensure that one religion doesn't run the government, which it's been weak at doing. But the idea is that it's
But-
less of a preventative measure from people being there and more of a preventative measure of like
The Pope
inherently
being there.
kind of of them becoming one body for one, or there being inherently
Way too much power.
I guess bigoted, not necessarily bigoted, but like restrictive in such a way where
bigot.
you can't make decisions based on just, or like you can't make you should not be able to based on how that works. For example, there's a lot of questions about the constitutionality of a Muslim registry.
Yeah.
All beyond here lies. There's nothing here.
3.
You couldn't have split that up a little
I
bit.
know, right? But like, it's such a big and confusing ball of twine in terms of like what it's there for and what it's meant to do, and
I'm really in no way anti-religion. I actually support religion for a lot of people. I think, in general, if you take the control-y parts out of it, human beings as a society need religion. I actually do. It actually does a lot of good things for community, and in the vacuum that is now there after religion has left a lot of educated white people, there are new social problems that they would benefit, that would be assuaged by having a regular and strong peer group and community that no longer is there in the same way that it used to be 50 or 100, 200 years ago. I think religion is important. I think some religion or something like it is generally good for people.
See, and it's funny because I'm on the opposite end. I don't give two craps.
Right, well,
But like, yeah, okay.
I think spirituality and community is good for people.
Oh, community,
And
yeah,
religion
community's
used
great.
to offer just those two things at different times. Sometimes it offers a third thing that's a lot more insidious, right? That's a different conversation altogether.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's
But
not.
do you see my point?
Oh yeah.
Spirituality and community are very good for humans.
I don't think you necessarily
none.
have to
I
get
think-
that from religion.
Exactly.
I think
I
there's
think
plenty
it
of
would be
sources
good
of
for all of us. It's
spirituality
part of the
and
reason
all-
I keep coming to D-pad, because you guys are my community. Which, fucking, yikes.
Ooh, you picked poorly.
You have chosen.
But I think I
Poorly.
benefit from a regular community of people I feel comfortable around
Yeah.
every week
Yeah.
that I can talk to and air my problems with and have actual genuine feedback and connections with. A lot of people don't have something so regular, and that actually can be very bad. So for a lot of people, religion is that spirituality and is that community. I'm not anti-religion
We get that.
in the strictest sense. However, I've made the same argument in a different costume when it came down to
Elvis costume?
whether gay marriage thank you, whether gay marriage should be allowed or not. I think marriage, which is inherently a religious institution, should be taken out of the
It is
government
not.
and relabeled as
It was
civil union for everybody.
Originally,
it was originally a civic
Yeah.
union.
I,
Marriage
but
existed
the ceremony
before
of marriage has traditionally
matrimony.
been done under the what's the word?
No, we're not even going to get
No,
into that.
it
because there's
originated-
so many
The governance
different-
of religion.
Whatever.
No, it did not. Matrimony, as for example, as a Christian sacrament kind of thing, that exists as a result of that. However,
Business deals,
marriage was essentially a business deal long before religion even existed.
Yeah.
Like marriage predates essentially all organized religion.
I guess
Nowadays,
so, but-
there's a
okay,
fine.
fine.
You can go to
But you know what?
City Hall.
Terminology aside, though,
I could go to
see what
City
you're
Hall
saying.
tomorrow
Thank you.
with Sarah and go get married. Have
Do
no
it.
religion, anything in it.
Right.
Yes, that's true, but what that ultimately is a civil union.
No, it's a marriage.
Well,
legally binding
You
marriage.
throw the terms aside, and you just have A, where it's a religious joining of people, and B, where it's a civil joining of people.
Right. Well,
And
that's
then,
fine.
like-
Exactly. So the reason a lot of people have a problem with gay marriage is because their religion says it's not cool, right? So if you
Well, their
take religion
interpretation
into
of their
There's a
religion.
lot of reasons, but
and
that's one of the more
because
prominent
of
ones.
the
yeah.
word marriage, which is a very loaded question that is featured prominently in certain religious documents, including but not limited to the Bible.
Does the Bible actually say marriage?
Yes, it does.
Do they not say matrimony?
I don't know. One of the other. It doesn't
I
matter. It's
really
no-
gotta
They're different, though.
finish
They're
that.
different. There is a distinction.
Just never get fully through it. I fall
Sometimes
asleep
I
all
wish
the
I could
time.
just say, "Listen to my point," and not my words.
Well, yeah,
that's
but you're
sometimes a difficult
using
But your
very
words
fine
make your
details
points, dear.
that are different because you're using the term marriage, but then referring to the word marriage in a way
Anyway,
where it
let's
doesn't
go back
necessarily
to the
exist.
original
when politicians disagree with gay marriage, most of the time they're doing so because it is
Because religion.
at odds with their religion. So what
Many
I think
times,
any
sure.
two people who decide to should be able to get united in some fucking terminology you can pick. I don't care. They can become Squizzle buddies, right? Any two
Oh
people
my god, I want a Squizzle buddy.
any two people of any gender who decide to commit to each other can become Squizzle buddies. And I think the government should only use the term Squizzle buddies because it has no major connotations in any religion or not.
It certainly
Okay.
doesn't.
But I mean,
It's
honestly,
no religious
so-
text
Right?
refer
You know
to
what a-
Squizzle
No, I
buddies.
Do you
believe
know
that's
what a
totally
good
fair,
word for
because
that
goes
would
Goes
be?
with the
with-
fact that marriage as we know it, or matrimony as we know it, I'm not sure which term I should use because I've never read the Bible because I'm a horrible pagan.
Matrimony is a Christian sacrament. Marriage existed as a
But-
word before.
Whatever.
But to be fair, a lot of people now do associate
They equate
marriage
them.
with religion.
That is very true.
you might be the one.
But also, I agree. I agree that if we're gonna say that having like secular is the thing.
Yeah. Let's use a secular
Sorry,
term in our
but
government.
like that sucks. That sucks.
But here's the thing: we're not
Ass.
stopping anyone from getting married.
None-
Get married.
I mean-
It's
But on
just that
paper,
unfortunately,
you
if
get a
you are
certificate
one
for a
religion and
civil
your
union, so
religion's
taxes
a
are
dick,
different.
that sucks.
I'm
It
just
should
saying
be.
it's,
No, if you're a religion and your religion's a dick and doesn't want you to get married because you're gay, then that sucks fucking.
Oh,
that
yeah.
sucks too. But fine, if you want to be a part of a shitty religion, you are free to do that, and I fully support that. That's the part that sucks. Is that
But the government cannot force a
right? The government. The government should be secular.
If you go with that whole secular thing, unfortunately, there's some really shitty parts
Use a
to it.
label that is entirely secular. For some people, the word marriage is
But I
not
still
secular.
don't like that because then I'm just get pissed off.
But you can still get married,
I know. But then it's just sad when people
right?
just makes me sad.
But on your tax document,
on,
it shouldn't
guys,
say
love.
"Are you married?" It should say "Are you civilly partnered with a Squizzle buddy?"
yeah.
Yay!
Which is pretty much the reason we should just use the word married.
And the reason I brought this
I like
up,
Squizzle
no,
buddy.
but you can be married, but that's a religious.
Why is it got to be different?
No, it's matrimony. If you go to it's matrimony.
But matrimony and marriage are related words in the eyes
No.
of almost everybody.
Which is incorrect.
But holy matrimony,
Yeah,
right?
that's the sacrament. Yes,
That holy matrimony is the thing that makes you married.
in a Christian setting only.
Yeah, but
Jews
that's
do
how-
not. Jews do not get. Do not
Do
go
not
through
get
matrimony.
matrimonied.
They have a different
Totally wrong
ceremony.
here, Ben.
We're getting back to the point we were talking about where people can't communicate on opposite ends of the political spectrum because they're
Because
Yep.
their labels get in the way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Matrimony is
Words
a,
are fun.
Matrimony is a part of the Christian.
You're trying to be
marriage
correct
ceremonies.
right now, but I'm trying to be right.
I'm trying
Do you see the?
This is my favorite.
because you're coming up with a what? No.
I'm just saying we're
The fact
what
that
we're butting
marriage
heads about
is
the
a
actual
secular term
label
doesn't matter
word.
to
Yes,
a lot of
because
people.
you're
Yes.
endorsing a different label on the basis that a label that has no religious bearing is religious.
But people
which it is not.
associate it with religion
Which
now.
is wrong.
They-
It's
it doesn't matter
incorrect.
if it's wrong. They
That's
do.
true. Guess what?
That's how they view it.
Language
And I'm
evolved.
gonna
Language
say
evolved.
It's evolved
It's
so
important
far
to see
that marriage is the religious
Everyone
word,
raised their
even though
voices
you
and then
think
you're
it's
the
not.
most right.
It's not though.
Yep.
Because if I go to if I go to
just
town
mumble
hall
and
and
see-
get a marriage license,
that works out for
I
us.
get married without a priest, without any religious anything at all. I'm married. Period.
Right, but that's the way you do it, living in fucking
You guys are
Cambridge,
literally
Massachusetts.
arguing about something you're not going to
liberal
agree on
bastion of
because
the
one of
world.
you is in the like current days
Where am I fucking
version
going
and
right
one of
now?
you is in dictionary version. So who gives a fuck?
Yeah, exactly. But I think the larger point is, whatever term is used in the government should be a secular term, and whether people are incorrect or not, people view marriage
Yeah,
as a
oh,
religious
oh, there
term.
you go.
So because people think that it is a certain way, we abandon that concept?
Not
That's
the
a different
concept, the
discussion.
term.
No, that's this
The
discussion.
term.
That is this discussion.
No, but see, that's what I'm saying is that that's not this discussion. I know that's frustrating for you. But you're hung up on the fact that you think matrimony and marriage are different words, which, you know what? Technically, they probably
It has nothing
are.
to do with them being different words. They're different things. Marriage can
But
include matrimony.
Rick.
Yes.
Common English. No, they're not.
So I'm trying to...
Sorry.
Common English. There's a lot
Nope,
of
nope.
issues with the common English.
The problem
Yes,
is
there
that
are,
a
but guess what?
politician
It's
who is
still common,
anti-gay
and that's what
marriage
the
Called a
majority
marriage
of-
license. According to the law, marriage is different from matrimony. According to the law, which is the whole thing we're
Let's
talking
remember
about here.
we're all on the same page.
But
But according to the
A lot of
politicians who are
people don't see it
anti-gay
that way.
marriage, they're the
Uh-huh.
same thing. If they use
I
a
agree,
different word,
which is wrong.
if it's wrong, it's wrong. But
It's a wrong thing to be arguing in the first place. Oh, here we go.
oh, good, we found a vacant lock.
I was trying to get into the area before. And it's like, oh, you can win earplugs, and the person who can do that is like, cool, later, and is not doing anything.
Oh my God, where the fuck are you?
need a
That's
Squizzle, buddy.
dangerous. I need a Squizzle.
I think part of the issue and part of the reason there's so much of a fight for for equality, marriage equality, is because of the insistence that they cannot be married because of XYZ and old archaic terminology being reassociated like that, where people are assuming marriage must be man and a woman. They're fighting for equality so they can say, I want to be
sure
married.
We're saying the same goddamn
You guys
thing.
are saying the same thing.
So why fight for a different new thing altogether than fight for marriage to be equal?
because people won't accept it.
Yep.
They don't accept it right now because
the
they
Bible
assume that
co-opted
they're correct.
the Bible and the churches have maybe not even the Bible, maybe just the churches have co-opted the word marriage to mean a religious thing.
Okay, so why not fight back against
I'm
that?
not gonna
Why
follow
not
this.
try to
That was a mistake.
why not try to reappropriate essentially the thing that didn't belong to them in the first place?
Because people
Why-
won't accept it. If
So
you
we
say,
abandon it
okay,
then?
religion gets the word marriage and government gets the word civil union, some people
Then
might
people get pissed off
be
because
like,
they want to
"We're
be
okay."
married.
I see your point, but you're like, according to the letter of the word, this doesn't actually mean what you guys think it means. And I'm like, here's what we could do to make this a non-issue and give everyone a neutral secular term to solve the problem.
And I'm all like, did you see Jenna's dress yesterday?
We're
'Cause,
on
oh
the
my
same
God.
side. We're just two different
I think
splinters of the same argument.
I think it's important not to abandon
Not to give in
equality.
to their religious terrorism.
No.
You use the word terrorism a
Yeah,
lot.
fun
that's
word
a
today.
fucking
I don't
loaded
think you
ass
know
word.
what that word
Yeah, okay,
means.
all right, you're right, you're right.
I think
It
that
means scary movies.
I think that we should be me personally, I think we should be fighting for equal treatment as opposed to creating an equal but different setup. That's the whole thing from the fucking 60s. Was
But
the separate but
unfortunately-
equal
oh, thank you.
nature of going, yeah, but it's good enough for them.
That's not what I'm trying to do.
But
at
that's
all.
what it sounds like.
because
You're saying
we
that
have the
marriage
no.
must now belong only to
No.
them because they decided that it belonged to them and not for everybody.
I think
I'm
most
bored.
people view marriage as a religious institution.
But they're
here's
wrong.
the thing: in a country where
A lot
I'm
of people think
conceding-
because
it
it has
matters.
to be a white guy.
make dumb
That's
puns
wrong
again?
too.
I'm conceding
You know, I'm
that
kind of like going
freedom of
around
religion
and around
is
in
a
a circle.
valid
I mean, like,
and
you know,
good thing.
merry-go-rounds
And as
are
such,
fun for a
unfortunately, some
while,
religions are
but
going to
after a
say
bit, it's kind of like, okay,
that only
so
certain people can get married.
been on the same horse for a
but
little bit.
unfortunately, because I believe in freedom of
there's
religion,
that tree
I
again.
have to believe in them too.
For a long time, only Protestants were president, and JFK being Catholic was an enormous fucking deal,
Ooh, look at that tree again.
like a devastating thing. Just
Oh, that's
because
new.
people think something doesn't make it right, doesn't make it acceptable, and doesn't make it the thing that has to be forever.
Oh, look at that tree again.
I agree with
Going back to other stuff, women were essentially property for a long time until people realized, hey, no, that's
And I
fucking
agree with that,
wrong.
too.
Oh,
No, wait,
look at
hold
that
on,
tree
wait,
again.
Lindsay, you were like an hour late for dodging out of this conversation.
That's why I'm just going to keep saying, oh, look at that tree again whenever you guys
I don't even
repeat
go.
something.
I don't even know what tree you're talking about.
The tree,
Because it
whenever
doesn't
you guys
exist.
mention something over and over again, I say, look at that tree again, because I'm going on a merry-go-round. So whenever something's repeated, I say,
I
look
see,
at
I
that
see.
tree again.
I thought you were literally just like covering the audio, not
Oh, no,
mentioning
no,
that we
no.
were that
no,
we were circling.
you guys just weren't listening to me when I said we were on a merry-go-round. You guys just kept saying the same thing.
Oh, I literally didn't hear you when
I
you
know.
said that.
I know you didn't. That's why.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's a good thing
Oh,
I cracked
dear.
myself up.
Long story
So
short,
do
I
you
think
see
we're
why we
on the
don't
same
talk
side.
about? Do you see why we don't talk about politics on the channel, like ever?
Because of the merry-go-round?
Yeah.
It's frustrating. because
Actually, yes, exactly
it's
that.
frustrating because even though Rick, I think you and I largely agree.
You do. You
Probably
just like to
more
argue.
than just about any two people you
Oh,
might
fighting
find,
a regular Navi here.
and we still find a way to argue.
Yeah, because you guys are both argumentative little douches. But I love you.
Yeah, I guess we are.
Oh, it's like
Because I want to be like, yeah, but I'm right. But of course, he thinks that too. So.
it's like Kermit the Frog when like the child's annoying him and he's like, I'm gonna leave, and the kid goes, I love you, and Kermit goes, I love you too,
Alright.
and it's really cute. You guys are like that.
Here we go. Ooh. One more shot here should do it. Let's do this guy right
Bap.
here. Boom. Got him.
Ooh, where'd you get Bubble?
I got one maybe like 10 minutes ago.
Nice.
Wow, good job. What technique? I'm so impressed. Congratulations. Well, here's your prize. Earphone. Please take a earphone set for yourself. Earphone set. Check the earphones in your PT. You can use it without anyone else hearing you. Oh, okay. Cool.
Jamin.
Jomon.
Should we jack out?
Oh my god. I feel like anytime you want to jack out, you should just feel free to jack out.
I don't think any
Jack
time,
out
but,
equality
you know.
for everyone. And everyone gets to call Jack out. I have earphone. Okay, I guess I'm going the other way again. So yeah, we hope you've enjoyed what has become 2 episodes, I guess.
Hold on, that
of-
sign says PCP.
Shit, I couldn't go back. I can't go back.
Hold
I'll try
on.
again later. These earphones are great. I can't hear the sonic
Boom or beam? Does
I
they
think it's a
beam?
beam. What's up with his
I
eyes?
want
They're all
the
fucking
Sonic
bloodshot.
Boom. What are they?
Been having a rough week.
Dude, it's all that
Like, look at
PCP.
that. Look at that shit.
Yeah, it
That's
does
not
look-
healthy. I'm gonna go back here though, so we can see the PCP sign.
Nope, keep going. PC.
PC. This way for the PCP. Oh my god. Oh,
Joe
jeez.
man. I said that too.
Hot or cold beer? I'm sorry, what?
Support for controlling this
Hot or
tower.
cold
It's
beer.
always bring down so it's made so you can jack in. Yeah, jack in. Mega Man, execute.
If you say beer can with an English accent, it
Yep,
sounds
I
like you're
know.
saying bacon with a Jamaican accent.
Beer can.
Beer can.
Bacon.
Beer can.
Bacon.
Oh my god. All right.
Beer can.
We're gonna do
I
we're
don't
gonna
think
head
you're
into
right.
the-
I think we're just saying bacon in a Jamaican accent now. But I like it.
we're gonna head into the electrical tower next time.
Okay,
we
bye.
apologize if anybody
Love
fucking
you
hates us
all.
now.
I apologize
Bye.
for nothing. Fuck you. Just kidding. You guys are great. Don't cut me.
What?
My audio is what I meant.
Like,
I don't think this is still going.
I thought you meant like murder, straight, like with a shiv.
Don't cut me.
Get on it. Get up.
Once again, back is the incredible. Refuse to lose.
Get on it. Get up.
Once again, back is the incredible.